You are listening to Pelushi Performance Podcast, and here is your host, Rei Pelushi.
Hello everybody and welcome to the new episode. Thank you so much for finding your precious time and being with me here today. I'm Rei and I'm your host, and let's go straight to today's topic. Today's topic is very, very crucial for success, and it's something that I've been very passionate the last few years. It's about achieving everything that we want. Does sound very exciting, right? Like, imagine if everything that we really want can just turn into reality. Now you'd ask the question like, how is that? Well, before we get what we want, first we have to ask ourselves, what do we truly want? And this is the topic of today's video. What do we truly want? If the Aladdin, in the Aladdin's movie, the Jinn, I hope I pronounce it right in English, but the guy that comes up with a lamp, and next thing you know, he'll show up and be like, hey, you've been a great man, or let's just say that you found this opportunity. Now you can turn 3 things into reality. What are those things that you wish to have right now? And why is this important? Well, it's very important because we focus a lot in things that we don't want. We are masters of things that we don't want. We don't want to, maybe we don't want to look not in a good shape. We don't want to feel bad. We don't want to, not have friends. There's a lot of things that we are very, very specific on what we don't want. Now, I've mentioned in another topics and another episodes, like how we are constantly running through our subconscious, at least most of our time. And our brain, our subconscious doesn't understand the word don't. It just understands as you want whatever you want. So every time you're telling yourself, let's say, take an example in tennis, tell yourself that I don't want to make a double fault, most likely you're going to make a double fault, because what is the most important word you're focusing on? At least out of 2 words, is like double fault. It's incredible, powerful. Like, you're just focusing on that. Most of the words in a sentence is double fault. And if not just a double fault, you have another negative words in front of it. The word don't. So if you constantly tell yourself words like no, don't, can't, those have like a very negative connotation. So like every time you're saying negative stuff and you're feeling negative, you won't have a positive result. Just won't. There's nothing such as neutral state. You either feel good or feel bad. So if we constantly say bad words or things that have not a positive effect, then we just most likely will feel bad. So first of all, let's not focus on the things that we don't want, but let's focus on things that we want. What do we truly want? Have we ever even asked that question? When I got exposed to this exercise and this technique and how to improve myself, this has been very crucial for me, because I always knew, for example, I don't want to go back home and be at my old life. I was focusing on that, and I ended up going back home twice for financial reasons when I was back in college, and as I've mentioned before. So I wasn't focusing I want to stay here and how I'm going to stay here, but I was worrying and focusing on the wrong things. And every time we are worried about something, then we're not being at our best. And when we're not being at our best and feeling at our best, do you think that we're going to have the best results? I don't think so. So it is very, very important the words we use, because the words become our thoughts, and our thoughts can become words, and one of these 2 are going to affect immediately the way that we take actions and the way that we act, and our actions become our future. Become who we are, become part of our identity. So it's very, very important the words that we use. So let's not focus on things that we don't want, but let's focus on things that we want. So whatever you let's say, are making most of the sentences throughout the day, let's just change the way that you are phrasing the sentence. And let's start focusing on the things that we want, on the good things. For example, and it's not just the fact that you are gonna feel better. And as I mentioned before, that when you're not feeling good, then you're not gonna do good. So it's not just about that, but it's about shifting our mindset to like how to find solutions. Because if we're worrying on things that we don't want, it's not gonna help. But if we constantly think about things that we want, now we're looking for those things. It's like, I don't want to see a red car. You're probably going to see a red car. Okay. But let's say that I want to see only blue cars. Now you're constantly looking for the blue cars too. So, it's very important how we phrase things and how we shift our mindset. But again, we just really need to ask ourselves, what do we truly want? If you have this magic wand or somebody that's going to tell you that you're going to have 3 things turn into reality, what are those things? Those 3 things? And really think about it, because sometimes we focus on things that are short term, like I want this, I want that, but let's just let's just think. What I wanted to mention is like, let's not worry about things that are very little, or things that are, how can I say, things that don't have real meaning. But let's just think about things that can affect our life, things that have a purpose, things that are big. Let's think about, what do we truly want on its core, to progress, to process, to achieving those things that sometimes are even scary when we think about, if that makes sense. Having those big goals. So there was a lady that I was working for her performance, and she came by and we spoke, and she was just full with rage and negativity, and I understood. I mean, she was just in pain, and she's like, I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want that, and she just kept going on and on and on. And when she finished, I told her, can you stand up real quick? She was looking at me a little weird. I was like, yeah, stand up. She stood up, and I told her, can you please sit on the next chair? She's like, okay. And then she sat on the next chair, and I told her, can you please tell me now, what do you want? She wasn't able to paraphrase all. She's like, well, I was like, let me make it easy. Let's just say the things that you didn't want, but say to the things that you want, like the opposite things. And then she started doing it, and you can tell that she's feeling much better right now from being in a negative state and just like full with negativity. What she doesn't want now, she's smiling at you, like, I want to do this, or I want to have that. And this is kind of, I call it the chair technique. It's a chair technique, and can be performed in different ways, but I still would like to call this a chair technique. And so, yeah, and then we wrote down all those goals and all the things that she really wants, and we turn it into a goal setting now. And from that, it can be easier, because now we can write down the path and write down the map, and how do we want to achieve this, and how can we get there. So, yeah, it's very, very important for many, many reasons why we really need to ask ourselves, what do we want? And why is this important, and how can we affect it, and all these things that I've been saying for the last 9 to 10 minutes. So yeah, pay very much attention on every sentence in this episode, because those are all very important, very, very important. And another thing that I want to most likely end this episode with that is, when you're a kid, or when you see kids nowadays, kids really, really want their things. They really, really go after it. Let's say they want a new toy or whatever it is. They will cry, they will scream, they will do anything to have that. And once they have it, they feel good, because that is what they truly want. So I know that it might sound a bit strange, but let's just become kids for a minute. And let's just be curious like kids. And let's just be full with energy like kids. And let's just not give up until we have what we truly want. We will cry about it, scream, do everything until we have it. So I can go again more and more, but I think it's very important to keep it simple and short. And I hope you guys from this episode have learned something. Have learned to ask yourself what you truly want, not change, not focus on things that you don't want, but change your mindset, change your thinking. Write it down. Spend 30 minutes. Just look at the ceiling or stare at something or close your eyes and just picture yourself what do you truly want? And I promise you that your life will change drastically. It definitely changed mine. I'm always focusing on things that I don't want, and I do everything I can to achieve it. So thank you guys again for being here. Thank you for your positive comments, likes, shares, and everything else. I'll see you guys into the next episode. But until that one, you guys stay blessed.